Welcome, everybody, to the Houston Oilers franchise. The Oilers sit here at 1-4 to start season number 2, and we are not off to the greatest start. We are, right now, bottom 5 in total yards given up on defense, and we are top 15 at least in total yards on offense, so we're not doing too bad in that department. But we have had some issues on offense, especially a couple of games where we've given up a ton of sacks. DTR has been rushed, and it's led to some early turnovers early in the season and a 1-win start. DTR's biggest problem is really his throwing motion. Now, I went back and watched some tape of DTR, and his release is just a lot quicker than the default release. So we end up going through all of them and end up, settling on Slinger 4. So if you want to play with DTR in your own save and change to Slinger 4, I found that that's probably the most realistic release that DTR has in real life. In last episode, we saw a glimpse of his backup, who we drafted in the 4th round, in Phillip Waters. He has Slinger 3. I noticed that his release was super quick, so DTR's looks more like Slinger 4, so something to keep your eye on. DTR, I wouldn't say is on the hot seat, maybe at least right now, but hopefully that throwing motion change will fix at least some of his issues. We definitely want to get the ball to Marvin Mims Jr., and part of the game plan is going to be to get the ball out quicker, because obviously our pass blocking isn't the greatest this year. But I don't think that's the biggest issue of this team, because if you look at it, our numbers defensively are still terrible, and the main reason is because we're not getting any pressure on the quarterback. Quarterbacks aren't getting moved out of the pocket, clean pockets, no pressure, and that starts with Tyree Wilson. We will officially add him to the trading block just to see what we will get, but depending on the outcome of the next 2 games as we head into the trade deadline at game number 9, I think we have to start really thinking about if Tyree Wilson is going to be a part of this team in the future. So I want to give another guy a shot, and that's Derek Copeland, the 4th round rookie out of Cincinnati. We drafted 5 4th rounders, remember, in season 1's NFL draft. As we look forward to next year's draft, this is going to be a very heavy defensive draft. Now, we don't have much film right now, but in the next coming weeks, we will have some more. But as you can see, the top players here are mostly defensive. I think it's 8 of the top 10 are all on the defensive side of the ball. And then there's only 1 quarterback as a projected 1st rounder. That is a big change from season 1's draft, where we saw 6 quarterbacks go in the 1st round. So this is definitely going to be something to look after and really evaluate in the coming weeks. So here we go. We are facing the Chargers for the 2nd time this season, and we have won in all 3 meetings versus the Chargers in this series. And the Chargers have had a couple of games where they've had some good wins and then some very close losses. Like last week, they lost 28-31 versus the Rams in the LA Bowl. And now here we go. We are on the road in LA for this one, so let's get this one underway. We play the Broncos and Chargers in this episode, so we already have our divisional games out of the way through the first 7 weeks of the season pretty much. We play the Chiefs one more time, but we'll see if DTR can really come back and have a good game today. Here's the first pass of the game, and that's caught by Irv Smith Jr., signed in the offseason to a 3-year contract. He picks up a gain of 20. You can already see the game plan. Get the ball out of his hands quickly. Here's a handoff, this time to Antonio Gibson, putting on a juke move and picking up a gain of 9. Gibson had an awesome start to the year last year. He's off to a pretty good start this year, but obviously not as fast as the start last year as he picks up the 1st down on that next carry. We do eventually get it to the 37 now for a 3rd and 3 carry. This is Antonio Gibson, and he puts on a move and picks up another 1st down. 4 big carries here for Gibson to start this game. Now under center is DTR. This is a play action fake, throwing across the middle, and that one is caught. Touchdown, Irv Smith Jr. He gets behind the defense, and that's a great route concept right there. That can almost beat any coverage if you play it right, and it's a 7-0 start here for the offense. So here's Justin Herbert. His first pass is deep down the right side. That's going to be caught, and it's Casey Burton, the rookie, getting beat on that one by Joshua Palmer on an accurate pass there from Herbert. Here's a throw on the back shoulder, this time looking for Keenan Allen. It's knocked away by Micah Hyde, who's having an awesome season in his first year with the Oilers. 2nd and 10, we blitz 6 right there, and that's going to be caught by Gerald Everett, and he gets pushed forward for the first down. They come out here with 5 wide, and we rush 4. This time a quick throw once again to Gerald Everett, picking up a gain of 7, and he will be shaken up on that play, so he will have to come out. So now a 2nd and 4. Herbert throws to the end zone. It's going to be knocked out of the hands of Palmer, and it's Sidney Brown having a really good year this year. His rookie year wasn't that good. We trusted in his development, and he's been proving it. Here's a 3rd and 4. Here's a throw to left side that's caught for another first down. And the Chargers throw the ball a ton as Isaiah Spiller lines up in the backfield. Here's 2nd and goal. Carry is going to be in. It's Isaiah Spiller out of Texas A&M for the touchdown. And the Chargers tie this ball game up. So here we go at our own 25. Here's a good first drive by DTR, followed up by a handoff. Gibson is stopped right there. 3rd and 3. DTR throws across the middle, and this one's picked off by Derwin James. He was sitting behind the underneath route, and for some reason, DTR doesn't see him just sitting there, and it's a turnover. So maybe that was a user turnover right there. But here's Herbert, and he gets it away before the pressure gets to him. It was Barmore in the backfield who did get a superstar development upgrade last episode for our first superstar trait player on defense. More pressure on Herbert, and that's what we've been looking for all year. That's James Houston around the left edge, forcing the throwaway. It's now a 2nd and 10. Herbert throws to the end zone. It's caught. Gerald Everett for the touchdown, and it was Eric Curley and Sidney Brown in coverage that time. And now the Chargers are up by 7. So just about 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Here is DTR scrambling, and he does put a move on Asante Samuel Jr. and picks up the first down on that scramble. Stretch play call this time to the left side. It's Antonio Gibson picking up some blocks and getting across the 50. And Gibson's going to be shaken up on that play. He gets up celebrating, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but he's going to get himself checked out as he goes to the sideline. So in comes Chase Brown at running back, and we come out here with 5 wide. This time DTR clean pocket, throwing to the right side. It's Willie Wayne Jr., the undrafted running back who is actually a really good pass catcher. And DTR is 5 of 6 to start this game. Here's Chase Brown with the carry. He hits the hole hard. Good blocking right there on the left side of the line. And we get another first down. So 2 minutes to go here in the first half as we get it to the 13 now. Here's DTR throwing to left side. It's Jesse Fisher Jr. He will score. And Jesse Fisher is one of those guys that I picked up in the offseason to really just add a speed element, and it has definitely made a difference. Is he our star at receiver? No, but I don't need him to be. I just need a guy that can really stretch the defense out, and he's been proving us right here. He's got 3 touchdowns on the year. So here is Herbert on the next drive, throwing deep. On the first play, it's caught by Palmer again, beating the rookie Casey Burton, and maybe we shouldn't try that bump and run coverage right there. And it's a big-time throw from Herbert. They're across the 50 now. It's a 3rd and 10, throwing across the middle. This one's picked off. It's going to be Bryce Hall with the interception. He makes Quentin Johnston fall. He cuts back inside, back to the outside. He's off to the races, to the 20. Palmer chasing. He's not going to get him. It's a touchdown the other way for the Oilers. We haven't seen this at all since season 1, where we almost scored on a pick 6 from Chris Harris Jr. twice. He took one back to the house once in his final NFL season, and Bryce Hall does it for the first time this year. So now we're up by 7. Let's see if we can keep the Chargers off of the board here at the end of the half, as Herbert already turned the ball over on that last drive. But here's a throw to Isaiah Spiller out of the backfield, and that is a big first down. Austin Eckler is actually out for this game with an injury, and that's why you see Spiller in. But the Chargers do get 3 points on the board at half. So now here we are up by 4. Can we keep this winning streak going versus the Chargers? And that's a nice throw to Palmer, who's lining up all around the field here for the Chargers, and that's a first down. Another 1st and 10 throw. This time it's Keenan Allen and Micah Hyde guarding Allen right there. And he picks up another first down here for the Chargers. Can our pass rush generate anything here in this game? As that's another handoff, this time to Spiller up the middle. He gets to about the 25-yard line. Only 4 carries. So we know they're going to pass on pretty much every down because they're not running the ball at all. They're not even interested. Here's a throw across the middle. That's Johnston. He's inside the 10. Somehow was guarded by Zach Cunningham on that play. And now they're threatening to score. It's a 1st and goal. Herbert, no pressure. Finally, he moves to the left side. But there's Keenan Allen moving with him. It's a touchdown. And the Chargers will score to open the second half. And they make this a 24-21 game. So here's DTR now on the next drive. Here's a throw to the sideline. That one is going to be caught, and that's Marvin Mims. Only 9 of 11 in this game for DTR. You can see the balance that we're trying to have today, not throwing as many passes as here. He steps up in the pocket, throws, and that's caught by Jesse Fisher. He falls for the first down, but there's a flag on the play, and they are actually going to call an illegal forward pass on that play. So that's actually a loss of down, so we had to punt this one back to the Chargers. So here's a stretch play this time. Isaiah Spiller, and he picks up the first. I guess we'll take that. I'd rather have, a shorter run than how they've been gashing us through the air. And now we start the fourth quarter. Here's a quick throw to the left side. That's going to be Keenan Allen, who is sitting open in the middle of the defense, and that is a first down. So Herbert now across the 50. Here's a deep shot. Wide open is Quentin Johnston all by himself. It's a touchdown, a busted coverage right there. I think the defense may have run committed right there. And it is 31-21. Just under 6 minutes to go. Here's a wide open throw to Marvin Mims. It looks like he could have took that one to the house. He was all alone. DTR misses him. 3rd down, pressure gets to DTR again, and he goes down. It's Fox. And we're going to line up to actually go for this at our own 25, down 10. Pressure again. DTR gets hit on the throw, and it falls to the ground. We probably could have punted that one away, but Coach wanted to go for that one with 5 minutes to go. And here's Herbert back on the field, throwing to an open Keenan Allen. He is in the zone. He picks up a first down. Now at the 13, pressure getting to Herbert, and he goes down. It's Dave Washington on the sack right there, and a loss of 8. At the 21 now, a 2nd and 18 from the shotgun, and Herbert goes down for the second straight play. It's Washington, his 2nd sack in a row. And now it's 3rd and 24. It would be a dream to get a 3rd right there. And Washington was right there through the middle of the defense, and he couldn't make the tackle. That would have been an amazing sequence if he followed up with another tackle for loss. Instead, the Chargers settle for 3 on that drive. And now here we are trying to get some points on the board here, trying to hurry up the offense and keep these timeouts as well. Here's a throw across the middle. That's Irv Smith who has it. And at that point, we get to the 2-minute warning. So now at the 47 now, it's a 3rd down. DTR throws across the middle, and it looks like that one may have been incomplete anyway, even if it was on target. And now this one looks like the game. It's going to be 4th and 6. This time, throwing deep across the middle. It's caught by Allen Robinson. He gets to the outside. Robinson will score. What an amazing run after catch by the veteran Allen Robinson. I did not see him breaking that one free. And now we're down by 6. And we have to go for the onside kick here. The kick is going to be recovered by guess who? Joshua Palmer. It was going to be either he or Keenan Allen. You got to be ready for those two. They can catch everything. At least today they have been. So now here we are. just about under 2 minutes to go. Here is Spiller, who almost hits the hole and gets the first down and ends this game. Instead, that brings it to a 3rd and 3. If we get a stop in the backfield, we can get them to possibly settle for a very long field goal. But here is Spiller getting to the middle of the field, and now that sets up a 52-yard field goal. And they bring in the kicker, and the kick is good. Right down the middle, and that extends this lead to 9. So now here we go. We're down by 2 scores again, so we have to get 2 scores. And here's a throw to the sideline. That is going to be Marvin Mims, who does get pushed out of bounds. But 17 of 25 for DTR, a pretty good game. I think if it wasn't for that illegal forward pass earlier, we would probably have been either on top or maybe even tied at this point. I think that play really, really messed up the momentum. And maybe one last play here. Fox gets to the quarterback along with Khalil Mack, and we go down and we suffer another loss here to start this year. And the 1-win Oilers drop 5 straight games. The Oilers have way too many issues right now. We're not protecting the quarterback, even though today it was a lot better. We couldn't stop the pass. We gave up 2 deep passes, and the rookie Casey Burton had a tough outing trying to guard Joshua Palmer. Antonio Gibson was shaken up early in the game, and we could not run the ball after that because he was down for the rest of the game, so we couldn't even bring him back in. But he will be returning next week. It was just a bruised shoulder, so he will be back. We did get 2 sacks, but it wasn't the way we would have hoped to get them. But Dave Washington got both of them on the same drive, getting 2 tackles for loss in this one. And then obviously Bryce Hall with the first pick 6 of the season. You love to see it from Hall because obviously coming into the offseason, we didn't have any cornerbacks except Bryce Hall who are really going to be returning as starters. And he goes to the left side and he makes a play. So Dave Washington, deservedly so, gets an upgrade. Our rookie Sean Harris, who we drafted in the 2nd round, he's still hidden dev. I'm guessing that's going to be a star dev. That's just my guess. He gets an upgrade as well. James Houston, who had some pressures in that game, but didn't amount to any sacks. I'm hoping that he will start to come around, but if he doesn't, obviously we'll have to look at other options. But right now, he is our best option, at least rushing off of the right edge. Chase Brown gets an upgrade. Remember, he came into that game for a little bit, got a carry, and picked up 8 yards. But now we drop to 1-5. And you really have to wonder, if we drop another game, is there going to be a fire sale at the trade deadline? Because there's no point of trying to acquire players. I would rather just trade for draft picks. And we have to start looking at some of these veterans who I haven't mentioned too much, like DJ Jones. We signed him to a 1-year, $8 million contract in the offseason, and he hasn't really amounted to anything. It really hasn't been pretty. And to me, I signed him to be a run stuffer and be a mentor for our young rookie, Terrell Harvin, the defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. But there are some other veterans who we could trade. Bryce Hall is available. He is 26. We did sign him to an extension. But if we don't need him and we're not competing now, you might as well strike when the iron is hot and get the most you can get out of him. So now, once again, we play the Broncos. So we play the Chargers Broncos again. And now here we are playing a team that kind of took a similar route to what we're talking about here. They decided to kind of tank last season, and they went all in at quarterback in the draft, and they went after Bernard McMichael, who is right now the front runner for Rookie of the Year. And we get to face Bob Tonyan. He is teamed up with Greg Dulcich at tight end, and Dulcich is now one of the best young tight ends in the NFL, and it's led to a Broncos 4-2 start this year. No more Russell Wilson here, and no more Sean Payton in Denver, as they have a new duo with coach and quarterback, 2 rookie coaches. So let's get into the quick highlights of this game. As here's Bernard McMichael. The first pass of the game is going to be Jerry Jeudy down the right sideline, run down eventually by Sidney Brown at the 17-yard line, but a gain of 58. And that's when we started to lose all hope this game, trying to get our 2nd win of the season. but they eventually get it to a 4th and goal. Can the Oilers come up with a stop? We get the initial push in the backfield, and Javonte Williams finds the end zone, and they make it 7-0. So DTR coming off of a 3-touchdown, 1-interception game. Here's a throw across the middle. That's Marvin Mims. That's the same throw he missed the last game, and Marvin Mims probably could have scored on it, and he hits him this time, as now we're inside of field goal range. Play action fake now to 1st and 10. Here's a wide open Irv Smith downfield. The exact same play we scored on in game 1 of this doubleheader episode, and it's 7-7. The Broncos now threatening to score in the second quarter now. Here's McMichael. We send the pressure. He throws to the right side. It's incomplete. And Casey Burton on the coverage on Cortland Sutton, really trying to bounce back from a terrible game versus Joshua Palmer. But now in the second, here's a deep shot down the right side. It's Kyle Phillips. It's a touchdown. Now, Kyle Phillips, remember, scored the longest touchdowns we had all season last season. He scored from 88 and 81 last year, and he scores right there for his first big touchdown of the season. But here is the rookie Phillip Waters who gets a snap. I know a lot of you guys wanted to see him, and I needed to show this play because he missed a wide open Jesse Fisher for a touchdown. Into the second half now. It's 17-7 after the Oilers get a field goal on that drive. But here is Bob Tonyan. He's getting his revenge on his former team, and he scores here and brings it to within 3. Now in the fourth quarter, here is McMichael throwing to the end zone, but this one's knocked away, and look who it is. It's Dave Washington, who has had a really big episode, and he gets the Broncos to settle for 3. So now with 3 minutes to go, here's a deep shot down the right side. That's DTR finding Irv Smith, who has really contributed in the passing game this year, and he has much more athleticism than Bob Tonyan had at tight end. Stretch play to left side. It's Antonio Gibson who picks up a first down. And now we're threatening to score, but we want to use this clock. It's 3rd and 5. Here's DTR rolling to the right side. He throws to the end zone. This one's picked off by PS2. But look, there's laundry on the field. It's going to be pass interference on the defense. Let's take a closer look. Now, that ball was thrown to Marvin Mims, but he tried to come back to the ball and couldn't because Deron Bland was blocking his path. So we get to keep going here on this drive. And here is a handoff. Antonio Gibson from 1 yard out. And now the Oilers are one drive away from breaking this losing streak. Is now McMichael, the rookie of the year front runner, throws to the end zone. It's knocked away. And the Houston Oilers do get their second win of the season, defeating the Broncos here at home. And we needed a big bounce-back victory, and DTR follows up a terrible episode last episode with 5 touchdowns and 1 interception in this one. And it was a great victory here at home because a lot of this game was pretty much predicated off of, controlling the clock. And Bernard McMichael had a ton of completions, and that guy is hard to get down. Like, we tried to get pressure on him. He was getting rid of the football. He wasn't making bad decisions, and it amounted to an upset win there at home. And we give them their 3rd loss of the season, and they drop to 2nd place in the AFC West. But we're still not competing here in season number 2. We are 2-5. Yeah, we have been in some interesting games, but we have to be realistic. We have to look at the trade deadline as a stepping stone in order for us to acquire young talent. And we're starting to get some more scouting on the upcoming draft. We will have some highlights as we send our scouts out to see these guys play in a little bit. But as we approach the trade deadline, there are a trio of top pass rushers, including Lockridge, Jones, and Pitts out of Auburn. All 3 of those guys are projected to go top 10 in the draft, and those are guys we should definitely be looking at in this draft. So really, next episode, I think our goal is to finally trade Tyree Wilson. We've been holding off on it to really see if we were competing this year, and it just doesn't seem like it. I mean, even that Broncos win, it came down to a final drive. Obviously, there are always going to be games like that, But I think Wilson, his value is probably never going to be higher than it is right now. And seeing that we have a potential top 10 pick in the draft at this point, we probably have to strike while the iron is hot. So my goal is to hopefully get a first round pick, and I'm going to be looking at a team that is competing for the playoffs and maybe they need a pass rusher. And I think that's going to be the goal. So next episode, you should see a lot of veterans traded. That's probably the goal. We'll see when it comes down to it what kind of trade offers we get. But I think that's what's going to happen here as we continue this rebuild here with the Oilers. Now we're getting realistic results. I think last year we overachieved a little bit, but now we're kind of back down to earth. So thanks for watching this episode. Thanks for tuning into this series. I'm having a ton of fun with it, to be honest. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I'm about my pledge. I'm decked up on blue bills, and I won't stop until the cash pit look like fall leaves in the backfield. Tell her out of my face if she coming with that bull. Quick to say my piece. I'm so after school special. She brainy, but them jeans looking like